Okay, cool. All right.
Each one needs to be 3 pieces.
And I'm going to mute you, not because I don't want to listen to you, but I think you don't need to be chatting. Okay. Oh, we have Christina, привет. I see a new face on our chat.
Hi,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. I'm from Bulgaria, and my mom can't join the meeting, and she told me to listen to you.
Oh, nice, great, fantastic.
Yeah.
If you want to chat later outside of the meeting, feel free to email us and we can chat anytime, or anyone here can chat with you too if you need more information. We have Jen, who has so much information, and Christy and Curtis, and all of us independently can answer any questions if you end up having any questions. So let us know.
Okay. Thank you. Where can I find an email or
Sure, I'll
something?
put it in chat. Are you able to see the chat here?
Just a second. Yes, I can see it.
I think that's my email, right? Curtis, you want to put yours in as well if you have the space for these days?
Sure. I'll put my email and Christy and my lab's email in the chat for anyone who doesn't have it.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. All right. So I wanted, I'll just give myself, hey Scott, nice to see you. Okay, so I just wanted to give an update for the fun new things that I wanted to share, because I know we haven't talked in a while, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, perfect. So the first thing is Carly has been working really, really hard on actually a lot of t-shirts that I haven't even caught up with. So I'm gonna share my screen a little bit so I can see my own computer. Okay, so she has t-shirts and hats and hoodies for the family retreat. If you guys want to all get jazzed up, for those of you that are going to be able to join us in Colorado in October. So I think that'll be really cute. Toddler tees, toddler pullovers too. So she has done a lot of work. And then here's the adult ones. And then I didn't even know she had done Rare Disease Day stuff. So hats and t-shirts. And then we're already coming around to next year's holidays. I feel like it's already Christmas, basically. But everything for the holidays, so Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, just a CurePDE t-shirt. So a lot more stuff than I thought. Carly has been being really busy with all the decorations. I feel like we had somewhere in here also Christmas stuff, but maybe she took that down and she'll put it back up because we're getting back around to Christmas. So I can put the link in our chat here. And share screen. For anybody that wants to get a t-shirt. The t-shirts do give us a little bit of a fundraise boost, but they're not really a great way of fundraising. It's more so for you guys to, or for all of us to have other people ask us what is CurePDE, and just to feel connected. So that's that. Then on a much more exciting note, I just looked and our fundraising is almost at 30,000, which is fantastic. We still have a few more months to go until October, and we can keep going even after that. And of course, the foundation will match all of this. So it's actually double what this is. So we're already at 60, which is fantastic. If you guys want to keep spreading the word, it seems to really be getting to people and reaching folks, which is unbelievable. I'm just so surprised, honestly, how generous people have been. And yeah, for you guys for kind of sharing the word on this. Curtis, do you want to give here a quick update on how we're progressing with all of the little research that this is going to basically? I'll go quiet.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time the last couple of months getting ready to trial this new siRNA drug, working a lot with the mouse facility and the company. We just had all of the drug made by the company. So we had to have a meeting about like what was the goal of this, how many mice we were going to treat and why. And then we sort of come to an agreement, and the company made all of the drug for us last week. And so it should actually be in Colorado before the end of August. Um, we hope to actually, our goal is to treat the first mouse right around the time of the in-person meeting in Colorado. The mice will be treated when they're stop getting milk from their mom, or when we call the day of weaning, which is about 28 days old. So we hope that we will have mice who have PDE right around that time, and giving them their first drug. So exciting times. This is going to be a relatively straightforward and short study. This is not one of those studies that you're going to hear from us in like 3 or 4 years about. So we're really excited to do this work. And again, no promises that this drug is the answer for everyone, but it's a very exciting possibility and something that we should at least get answers about whether or not this chemical, this drug, improves all the biochemistry in a pretty short amount of time.
Awesome. Any questions? You guys want to hear more of an update, or anybody want to ask about this specific thing that we're trying to raise money for?
Yeah, we're always happy to give updates either on the webinar, or if people email us. We have some other fun projects coming up. I see our PhD student just joined. I'm not going to call her out at this moment, but there she is. Hey, Nicole, everyone. Nicole is a new PhD student in our lab. At some point, I'd love her to talk a little bit about the work she's doing, as she is at this moment trying to understand why some of your kids have seizures at day 1 of life. Some of your kids have seizures at a year of life. And so I'd love to have her present some of her data if anyone's interested at some point. Um, We've had some exciting news on the newborn screening front, as places around the world are getting much more excited about PDE newborn screening. There was just a great study in the country of Belgium published over the weekend. I'm part of a Canadian European pilot study. It's actually not happening in the US for many, many reasons, but it's exciting that people are doing more screening for PDE. So at any point, happy to update all of those things, or even if you want us to give little updates at the retreat, you guys let us know.
Sorry, Curtis. Nicole, you want to say hi since we
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole. So I am a second year PhD student here in Anschutz, and I am very happy to join here and meet you all.
We're really excited to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Curtis. Always exciting and always nice to hear what you guys are doing. Okay. The last 2 things that I actually have to talk about, and then we just kind of open it up, are, so we had somebody email us a while back, and he had developed this tool, and I haven't heard back from him. I think I emailed him twice now to get more information, but he is a let's see, if it's gonna let me go to the beginning. So he's a independent software developer, and I think he said his sister had a child with PDE, and so he actually realized that there was no good way to track lysine, and so he developed an app to track lysine content for his family, and then he had emailed me and said he'd be happy to talk about it. And I tried to figure it out on my own, and I couldn't quite. Maybe Curtis or Jen, because you guys are like lysine experts, can help me. And I read through the instructions. So it's supposed to calculate the amount of lysine, obviously, like in a food type, and it does have different language options, which is fantastic. It's currently available just by web. I think nothing like this exists at the moment. So anyway, I tried my best to work with it. So what I did was I was like, okay, well, let's go with goldfish crackers. And so I looked, and goldfish crackers have 3 grams of protein per 30 grams, basically, as far as I can read it. So I put in here that protein per 100 grams is 10 grams. I think that sounds right. And then it asks you to pick the kind of food that it is. And this is obviously like not every food available. And I know that goldfish, maybe I made the wrong choice because it's like a cheese and a and a bread together. So let's go with, I went with this grain product with eggs or milk, just because I felt like that would mimic the grain with cheese. And okay, then this is basically where I got lost. What is one? I couldn't figure out what one exchange is.
My guess is that's the serving.
But okay, so then so then we multiply it by 3. So 3 exchanges is 30 grams.
No,
I mean,
that doesn't make,
that doesn't make
that doesn't
sense.
make sense. If you send me the link, I can play around with it just because
Okay.
I
Okay.
did this on my own through the USDA website and a calculator.
Yeah.
So say, and I thought there was an app for this, wasn't there, Curtis?
Yeah, there's been a couple I put
Yeah.
I was putting a few in.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't.
And
I think that'd be cool. I want to post that for people if there are better apps out there.
Well, so the challenge though, right? So the lysine counter is amazing, right? Like it helped a lot for me, but the more that I talk to the different families, right? The more that I'm realizing that a lot of people get to count a lot of things as free food,
Yes.
right? And so like we didn't get to do that, right? Everything was counted for us. Whereas like I talked to other folks and like their kids can just willy-nilly eat a banana. Like we didn't do that. We measured that because that was 0.5 milligrams per gram of banana. So and then we also like, so some of it is like the information is great, but I always like emphasize to people to talk to their doctors because if stuff is free, this stuff can get, if the doctors consider it free and their numbers and stuff have been okay, then like I don't want people to get more overwhelmed by too much information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was trying to explore what he was trying to do, and then I kind of went down a rabbit hole. So has anybody ever, Jen, have you ever used My Food Data? It also tells you lysine content in foods.
No, so I always went to the USDA website.
Okay, is it here in chat? I would pop it open. Anyway, so there's different websites. I think we can explore those. But then I started playing with ChatGPT, and I'm not trying to advocate ChatGPT to anybody, but it could be a place where it's actually useful for folks. So I started asking it, can you even do this? So then it started trying to prove itself to me with references, which is nice these days in ChatGPT. And I don't know if anyone has done this, but I did ask it to then calculate for me. I said, if I eat 100 grams of Pepperidge Farm goldfish, how much lysine is in that? And so it did do the correct calculation. So it did say the nutrition panel shows 10 grams of protein per 100 grams, and it is a cheese cracker. So it calculated, I think, correctly the concentration of lysine. And then I wouldn't necessarily ever, this is funny. And then it tells you why I didn't use the USDA table, like I guess you would have, Jen.
Remember, I did this a long time ago, so mine's a little different.
Yeah. So, and then I was actually curious, like if it would help me with things that are very obvious, like an egg, because you can look up and like the lysine in an egg. And then I said it was scrambled. And it did a pretty good job. So the numbers that it had here for lysine, and it did pull it from the USDA, were correct. And then it said even that because it's scrambled, the weight may drop due to water loss. So then it like approximated the amount of lysine. which I think is interesting. And then it does tell you that this is a high lysine food, and then like how much that it has 3 times the amount of lysine as goldfish crackers, which I thought was very interesting. And I'm not advocating that you guys use this, but I did think that it was an easier way to kind of like go through calculations for the day. And you can also ask it to like keep track for you in a table. So it'll like auto generate a table as you go throughout your day, and you can have it on your phone.
That would have been nice. You know, but Anna, I'm curious, like, again, I did all this, right? Like, so my notebooks, and then I measured the food she didn't eat, and I subtracted it from the value, all the
Yeah.
things, right? But
Yeah.
like, it seems like most people are counting protein versus lysine now too. Have you noticed? Like when we talk to folks,
Yeah.
they count more protein, and we didn't start doing that until Emma was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, we've never counted lysine. I've only ever
Yeah.
counted protein.
Yeah. I think probably because counting actual lysine seems tricky. A lot of it is not even available, but protein's always available on food labels, right?
Yeah. And we always,
Mhm.
and I don't even know if it's right, but it was 35 milligrams of lysine per gram of protein. So if I didn't have, like, the USDA didn't have the information because it was a like whole food, and
Yeah.
that's how I played the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm not sure that we need this level of precision or that anyone needs this level of precision. But maybe if you're just out and you need to look something up and just type, like it would be a good approximator for folks if they are following a diet. And again, obviously all the stipulations that come with that.
This would have been amazing 13 years ago.
I know, to just be able to use your phone as you go and then
Darn it, ChatGPT. I carried a notebook, a pencil, and a scale around.
So we just finished a study where we tried taking photographs of the plate and using like an AI generated tool to calculate how much protein is on the plate.
Yeah.
We just published the paper. It wasn't great, but it's like getting better.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
hopefully there will be two hopes. Hope it'll be easier to count these things, and we also again hope that we'll have treatments where you'll never have to worry about what you eat again. So both
Well,
hopes
so-
at the same time.
If the AI tool can get better, right? When you think about like that, the long-term goal is amazing, right? To not have to count it. But like when Emma goes out to dinner with her friends, right? It would be amazing for her to have that app and just take a photo and just know. So I think that would be super cool if the AI could catch up, which it will eventually, I'm sure.
I wonder if we could start asking it things like meals, because it does have, I mean, restaurants do have nutrition information for a lot of their, I mean, like obviously not like boutique restaurants, right? But like, I don't know, Chili's or Applebee's, they have nutrition information available generally. So I feel like some of these more advanced models are able to reason a little better and actually provide you where their information is coming from. So anyway, that is basically all I have. Curtis, thanks for putting those apps up. Should I pull it up now? Let's see.
And Curtis, I think I still actually have the spreadsheet that Summer gave me, like the printed out spreadsheet, the original copy.
Hey, the hard thing for all of these is that there are so many different brands, so many different ways to make each ingredient. It just becomes really hard. And the question we've always had as a research team is like, how much do we really need to know? Like, what degree of accuracy is important? Because we don't want to drive you crazy either. So, like, where is the balance between making sure that you or your kids are staying healthy, but you're also not needing to obsess over every gram of lysine?
Yeah, exactly. So some of these tools can be kind of good enough to help you feel better, but not make you lose your mind. So that is all I have. Important update on the retreat. Jen, do you want to give an update on the retreat?
I think we've solidified housing for the folks. So one thing that we've learned, right, as we continue to refine the process for the retreat, is that there will be a real cutoff for the PDE Foundation to be able to provide housing, right? Because the challenge becomes is that we don't have an endless supply of funds, right? And And so I just want to make sure that as we progress through this, that if you are somewhat interested and maybe you're not 100% sure, go ahead and mark, I don't know yet, right? Like, please respond to those surveys, because from a planning perspective, it's incredibly difficult to plan. And then if people's plans change, we feel terrible when we can't accommodate. But I think our accommodations are set. We have a booking at local hotels too, like a block. So people that didn't get into the houses, they have a block of hotel rooms that are somewhat close. Still working with Curtis, wink, wink, hint, hint, about the visit to the lab and how that will work for Saturday. And then now that we have the firm count in the houses, I will start planning the meals for dinner Friday night, lunch and dinner on Saturday, and then breakfast on Sunday, I believe. And then what we learned last year is Sunday lunch, if people are around, is leftovers because there's a ton of them. So, and I'm open to suggestions as far as anything in particular that we want to discuss. I think depending on Curtis and Christy's schedule, I think it was a great time to have you guys come and just like be around the kids and let families ask their questions. I think there's some new folks coming that would we would all love it, but I think we would super appreciate having you guys there and just kind of seeing all the kids interact together and things like that. But as far as overly specific details, I don't have too many yet, just because we really just kind of solidified the housing stuff. So now it's just the little details.
Awesome. I know that there's a few people that were still asking on Facebook, and I'll post on Facebook with the link to this too, so that maybe if people have questions, they can contact us, and our emails are here, and I'll put it on Facebook too.
Yeah, and then I thought I saw on the chat, I'm on my phone. So the retreat is October 3rd through the 5th in Denver. It's in Aurora, Colorado. We were really anticipating and hoping prior to the political climate shift that we were going to be celebrating the PDE being on the newborn screening, but that's okay. We're still progressing, so we'll still get to it's my nicest way of saying that. So we'll still get to spend some time with the people who are making big changes in the world of PDE. So,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
Oh, and then the other thing is Unravel said that they will do our presentation with their results next webinar, which will be September. I feel like it's almost like September 1st or something. When is
September 2nd? It's Tuesday, September 2nd.
September. Yeah, so it'll be September 2nd. They'll present. And also I wanted to get Kathy from Organic Aciduria again, because I do think that I feel like we kind of have a handle on who we are as a group. I feel like we should start expanding into some of the larger organizations like Epilepsy and then Organic Aciduria, and seeing what they're up to, and if we can connect and like make use of their connections, the research they're doing, and things like that. So and the other thing that I guess like the one last thing, let's see if it is loading. One second. I wanted to show you guys. Maybe I'll show you next time. There is a new group called Commend that is trying to help. Actually, I will show you on here. Tell my older kid to be quiet, and I can hear his Fortnite wins. He's just like shouting up there. I don't know if anyone else has kids severely involved in their games. Okay. So it's really interesting, and I want this to be a way eventually for us to share research updates and how research is going. So it's basically a marketplace, I guess, for like small groups to get connected to service providers who do research at a smaller scale. Like, for example, if we want someone to design like a gene construct for us or something, and we don't have expertise in Curtis's lab, or we need something outside of the lab, And so service providers for small groups, because obviously it's hard to like get a whole pharma company interested sometimes. And then your own organization or your own team. So, and it also shows you other patient groups and the research that they're working on. So if we're curious, for example, like, I don't know, I haven't actually looked through these, but for example, TNPO, I know also has a gene construct, but I haven't clicked on them, but it tells you who their contacts are, what their research plans are, basically like the kinds of therapies that they're moving forward. And if they wanted to, they share like how much money they've invested and things like that. So I think that this is going to be hopefully a way for all of us. And I want this to be relatively public facing in terms of, I don't think that there's anything that we invest money in for research that the whole community should know about. And I think sometimes research is complicated to know, like which milestone are you trying to meet now? Where does it fit into like the greater scheme of things? And so I'm going to try to put our project into this research planner and also just use that as a way to kind of update us and keep results visible so that folks can come back and see like what we funded, what the results were, what we're funding next, and things like that. So if anyone's interested, I know I sent a link to you, Curtis and Christy. I'm not even sure because it's sort of in beta version. I don't know if it'll let you join. If it does, let's see if we can put some of our research facing or public facing stuff in here. And yeah, so basically the goal is like, as we have more folks, I want everyone to really know where their dollars are going, especially since people have been so generous with donations. I don't know, I guess like science has not been getting the best rap lately, so I want to make sure that we're like totally transparent and people know all those things. So those are all the things, all the balls that we have juggling over here, and I think the rest of the time can just be questions for anybody who has questions, honestly. I'm off mute, guys.
I don't have any questions, but I'll share good news.
Great.
We're going today to do, we call it a Panther Prowl. So she will be starting 8th grade next week in an honors math class still. So yay, Emma. And it's funny, she knew that and she heard me say that. She's like, wait, I'm in an honors math class? Yes, you've been in honors math the whole time, you little turd. Yeah.
You already got the paper?
Yeah, I got it like a month ago.
You never told me.
I did tell her. I did.
No, she didn't.
I did.
Don't tell our children anything. They don't know anything.
Liar.
I don't ever tell her anything and we don't ever do anything. I mean, it's all the things, right?
She didn't tell me.
That's awesome. That's great. Christina, did you want to ask us any questions? I can stop recording if you want to. I can